1 year has passed since the last World Press Freedom Day conference held in Helsinki, Finland, and now we're here in Jakarta, Indonesia. So what have been the biggest progressions in press freedom during this 1 year time period worldwide?
I think the most important progression has been, and progress in the world has been, to engage with different states and the possibility of having more and more consciousness. This is now a totally accepted issue. It's still very serious. Violence is still growing, but also the debate and the consciousness that this has to be resolved has also grown. And I think this makes us very pleased. As UNESCO, we are supposed to support states on building policies, and we want to build a policy of, in every state, of freedom of expression, freedom of the press, and safety of journalists. We always say that without safety, you cannot have freedom of the press. And this is now a given. As a matter of fact, we just had a couple of resolutions. Last year, there was a resolution in the Human Rights Council introduced by Austria and many co-sponsors. And this past week, in April, and in Paris at UNESCO, we had a resolution introduced by Sweden with 63 co-sponsors, which I think is very, very positive. And it shows the fact that at least there's consciousness of the gravity of this issue. There has also been a series of important events. There are now a series of programs in place of sharing South-South experiences between journalists, of being able to develop new alternatives in safety.
Do you think these are the main challenges we're tackling with this year's event now here?
Or on the basis of regulations. Many states are trying to change the regulations and to build regulations that are more limiting to freedom of expression in general, and to journalism, especially online media, as being more and more limited because politicians around the world are more and more scared. And the idea is that many of these right-wing leaders are trying to build a discredit to the media and trying to build a dissatisfaction in the audience in their own countries.
Well, the state of press freedom is something that can sometimes change pretty rapidly in different countries. For example, certain lately events have now shuffled even the positions of the top 5 countries in the Reporters Without Borders World Press Freedom Index. So what does this kind of behavior indicate?
Well, the positions are being changed, like I said, because many politicians and many political leaders in these countries are trying to limit the freedom of the press. They're particularly scared of investigative journalism, of the possibilities of denouncing corruption, or of the fact that some people are denouncing how many of these campaigns are now being based on racism and xenophobia and fear mongering in the public. So, of course, yes, I see that we are moving into an era of limitation of the press, and this is a very preoccupying phenomenon.
Yes, thank you.